Episode 31.
31.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So you canceled your haircut.
I'm just complaining about my hair. It's my own fault. I canceled it.
Okay.
So it's $300 to
a
get
lot.
my hair done.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's do the math though. How often do you get your hair done?
Great question, because that is exactly how I justify it.
Yeah.
I go like, okay, I break it down to like a daily expenditure.
Right.
And it's not that bad. But so I would say the balayage, which is where she like paints my hair. So
Balayage?
it takes like
Really?
3 hours. She
Is
like
it layered? Is that where it's like, is that your kind of your current look with the blonde and the brown kind of
yep.
mixed? Okay.
Yeah, well, it's growing out, so that's you're like, is that supposed
So this
to
is
be
a balayage after a couple
This
months.
is exactly.
Okay.
So if I were on it, I would go maybe every other month, maybe every 3 months.
Okay.
So we're talking like minimum $1,200 a year for just balayage, but
Okay.
usually in between, I'll do like a trim and a gloss processing service, which is like another $100.
And you do that
So
in between. So also six
Yeah.
times a year.
probably.
So we're talking $1,800 a year.
Mhm.
Okay, so I did my math. So I go a lot more frequently than that. I
Okay,
go every
great.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
And my hair is long right now.
Yeah.
For longer than normal because
Okay.
I had to reschedule last week because of the dentist. And let's talk about the dentist in a minute.
Okay.
I had to reschedule, and then now it's the next availability is next Thursday. So I'm going 3 weeks in between this time, which I never go 3 weeks. So
Yeah.
I'll be wearing a lot of hats in the
Yeah.
next couple days.
Okay.
But so I go every 2 weeks, and it's $50 every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's $100 a month,
Okay.
$1,200 a year.
Okay.
So it's about,
I'm still ahead of you.
but if you just did the balayage,
Yeah.
$1,200 a year. Same
But
thing.
yeah, and then break that down. What's 1,800 divided by 365?
Should we do it?
Like around
Wait, no.
less than $3 a day.
Is that
1,800 divided by 365.
Yeah.
Oh, just
$4.93
kidding.
a day.
Wait, why did I think 18 divided by 3 is 3? No.
$4.93 a day. It's like a latte
Less than $5
for your daily hair.
just by 7
Do you have to use products in your hair?
Yeah.
So we
And
gotta
I
add that.
never know what to do. I'm like, I try different things. I don't have, whether it's my skincare, my hair, I don't have like, this is my thing. This is
Yeah.
what I do.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time consistently. I'm literally just like trying.
Yeah.
Just trying things.
So when I add something up over how much it costs me for the entire year,
Yeah.
that's usually concerning for me actually. Like
Oh.
thinking that I spend $1,200 a year on my hair is
Yeah.
crazy to me.
Yeah. But
That's
what's
a
yours?
big number.
What's yours a day?
Do
Do that. Because this is the thing. Hair is something we use every single day. So $5 a day.
But then there's the alternative, which you could just like
What is yours?
For me, I could do a buzz cut. I could spend a lot less on my haircut. I
Could
could
you?
go every 6 weeks instead of every 3. Because there's a lot of guys go every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I have the what's it called? Skin fade on the side.
Yeah,
So they
yeah.
literally go down to skin. So after a
Right.
couple weeks, it does not. I don't think it looks good. So because of my hairstyle, it requires a lot of upkeep. So I could go with a different hairstyle that might cost me half as much on my haircuts. But I'm kind of
There's
married
something to
to
be
this.
said though about like if you like it and it's like that brings you joy and
Yeah.
confidence and there's like I don't know, it
Yeah.
could be worth it. It'd be one thing if you were like I'm choosing to get a haircut over feeding myself because
Right.
that's the cost,
Yeah.
like you're taking food out of your mouth or
Yeah.
something for it. But if you can afford it
Right.
and you like it, is it the worst choice? I don't know. Am I just justifying?
No, probably, but I can justify
Yeah.
about anything.
How do you feel about my mug this morning?
Masculine mug with a little hair on his chest. That's funny.
Where did this come from?
No idea.
I don't know, but I was like, you know what? It feels like a
That is
masculine
really
Monday.
funny. I love
Yeah.
puns.
Mhm.
Okay, so the dentist. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
haven't been to the dentist in probably 6 months,
Okay.
which is not that
No,
long.
that's
but,
normal.
I went to my dentist, the one I've been going to for a while previously,
Yeah.
and I got there and I checked in 10 minutes for my appointment time, and 45 minutes later, I went up and they still hadn't seen me, and they're like, give me
Whoa.
another 10 minutes, and I'm like, okay. And every time I go to this dentist, it's this way.
Wow.
And it's definitely kind of a budget dentist,
Oh.
so it's on the
So you're saving on your dentist work and splurging on your haircuts.
I guess so. Well, I haven't had dental insurance I've never had dental insurance
okay.
ever.
Sure.
Recently I switched to Brian's insurance plan,
Yeah.
which is amazing. So
Yeah.
he has Microsoft insurance.
Nice.
As his partner, I was able to get on his insurance plan.
Great.
So for the first time in my life, I finally have dental insurance. So I'm like, when I was waiting for 45 minutes to get into my appointment, I'm like, maybe this is my last time at this dentist. So I ended up just leaving because I had another appointment to get to.
Okay.
And I had budgeted like an hour for the dentist before with drive time to my next appointment.
Right.
I was 40 minutes in and still hadn't even gotten inside. So I'm like, okay, I don't have time for this. So I asked them to cancel that appointment. And then I'm like, okay, let's look at other dentist options. So I basically am going to the same one now that Brian goes to, which is near our house in Renton.
Perfect.
And I had my first consultation last Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
And it was the most thorough, consultation, whatever, of my mouth I've ever had in my life. They took probably 100 photos, like 3 different types of photo machines.
Wow.
It was insane. I was there for about an hour and a half for this first consultation.
Yeah.
They didn't do any work, no cleaning. It was just an exam of my mouth.
Whoa.
Very thorough. And turns out there's a few things that I have going on.
Let's hear it. Oh my gosh.
One of them is sounds a little gross, but it's this maybe like a little bit of a disease, like a gum disease thing going on. Sure. And I don't like the word disease, but I couldn't tell you the name. It's like I don't know. But I've been having a lot of bleeding in my gums when I brush my teeth.
Yeah.
And they said that it could be due to this disease. So they are going to basically, there's a lot I could talk to you about the dentist here.
Let's just get into it.
Let me give the kind of the summary here. So they basically did that, the big exam.
Yeah.
The next day, they got me in the next day for a deep cleaning. So I was there less than 24 hours later.
Yeah.
For another hour and a half.
You live there now.
And then I'm going again this week in 2 days. So that was the deep cleaning. So they basically did the whole deep cleaning.
Yeah.
Very loud noises in your mouth.
Yeah.
And I hate the dentist.
Yeah.
But they're very nice, very friendly people.
Yeah.
They ask the questions as you can't even respond.
I don't know what. Bless their hearts.
They've got to know. She was asking me legitimate questions.
Like not just a yes or no.
No, not a yes or no. Things needed a response.
Open-ended.
And there were a couple things I just didn't respond.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't physically
it drives me nuts,
I don't understand it. But anyway, I think they maybe like get off on it a little bit. Like it's kind of funny for them.
You think so?
I don't know. Or they're oblivious.
It can't be. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
It's like one thing if it's your first day on the job, you're like, shoot, I shouldn't ask questions. But like
they've been there. She's a seasoned.
You've seen me many times, and I'm still not able to answer your questions.
I don't understand that, but so
they're trying to be nice.
They did the deep cleaning, and then they put me on this like mouthwash, which is half like a mint flavor and then half like chlorine flavor, pretty much.
Excuse me?
It's the worst mouthwash I've ever taken in my life. It's like a medicated, like a prescription.
This is for your
mouthwash
illness.
For whatever gum thing I have going on. They said I have gum recession.
Yeah.
Which
that's normal.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because they're like, we can go refer you to another expert who can do like skin grafting for your gums.
I'm starting to get a little concerned that you are getting taken advantage of.
So I'm not going to do that. Okay. I had a conversation with Eric last week after this appointment. I'm like, what do I like? And he's like, well, some dentists just like do the bare minimum, and some dentists do like the extra. They go way above and beyond, or like way overboard on what their recommendations are. Yeah. So this is definitely that kind of situation. Right. So I'm trying to take everything with a grain of salt and do not the minimum, but do what I feel like is necessary. So the gum skin grafting, not going to do that at this point. Yeah. But I am doing the mouthwash. I am getting 4 fillings this week.
Okay.
One of them is like a previous filling that is kind of broken, I guess.
Yeah.
And then the other 3 are just normal fillings.
Okay. Meaning is like you have cavities?
I guess so, yeah. I haven't had cavities in years
that
I know of, but maybe my previous dentist just wasn't like telling me or wasn't doing a good enough exam. I don't know.
Let's just leave this.
I don't really know, but I am going to do the fillings. Okay. I am doing the mouthwash. I'm going to skip the skin grafting, but 3 dentist appointments in 1 week is not my favorite.
It's intense.
It's intense.
Yeah. So. Are they like, do they give you like nice things when they're cleaning? Like, are you distracted with a movie, or do they give you headphones, or?
There's no headphones, but there is like a YouTube video of like of
what they're doing to your mouth.
No, but they did put my pictures up on the big screen, zoomed in, and it was not. I don't like how my teeth look that up close.
Did I ever tell you when I went to the dentist? This is like not the last. It's been in the last year, and she just like casually was like, "Oh, have you ever had braces?" And I was like, "No, actually." And she's like, "It's never too late."
She said that
just casually insults me like that.
Show me your teeth real quick. Okay, I think we have the same thing going on, like, and don't take offense to this. I think we both have nice top teeth.
Yeah.
Our bottom teeth can maybe use a little bit of work.
Well, listen.
Is that offensive? Because I feel that way about myself. I feel like our teeth look kind of similar.
Well, I think over time, like your mouth does start to crowd.
Yeah.
Like I think it was straighter when I was younger.
Okay.
As were a lot of other things. Everything's loosening up
Yeah.
now. And so, yeah, it's
because when you
true.
smile, your top teeth are showing. That's really what matters, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't care about my bottom teeth, really.
I know. I worry that some of those appointments, whether it's dentist, doctor, whatever, it's a little bit of like how much can we squeeze out of this person?
Yeah.
And it's hard.
They were very conscious of the insurance though, and I feel like they were doing, maybe that was all for show, but they were saying, like, we can wait on this until your next insurance cycle, and I feel like they were doing a good job being cost efficient, and everything was like, these are just recommendations kind of thing. So
yeah.
I feel good about this dentist. I don't feel good about going to the dentist 3 times 1 week. I don't. My jaw was sore for a couple days.
Just wait till you get your fillings. Are you doing all 4 in one sitting?
All 4 in one, yeah. They said I could split it up, and I'm like, let's just get it over with.
You're gonna take the rest of the day off after that.
I am planning on going to the gym later in the day.
Okay,
we'll see.
But keep us posted.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
so we have recorded in 2 weeks, 2 week and a half.
I know. I was going back this morning. I was like, oh shoot, what was my last weekend?
So have you been in town both of the last weekends?
I have.
Okay.
It hasn't actually been super crazy these last couple weekends.
Same.
Not a ton going on. So sorry if this episode's the boring one.
The dentist episode.
The dentist one. So, okay, I'm actually going to look because the previous weekend, it wasn't Memorial Day. It was just a regular weekend.
And I can share real quick about that weekend because it was very simple. I went to LA for the weekend.
That's right.
Very quick trip. We left.
Why did I think we've talked about that?
We probably have.
I think I've
in
just
real
seen
life.
You. Yeah.
Not being recorded.
Yeah.
So we left Friday evening for LA. We got to an Airbnb. We were staying with Brian's parents, or not Airbnb. It was Brian's brother's wife's sister's house in LA that we were staying at. Yep. So really cute little house in Eagle Rock, which you know the LA. Do you know Eagle Rock?
I've heard of it.
It's near Pasadena, kind of near Glendale.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're staying there. Very quick trip. We got there Friday evening. We left early Monday morning.
Yeah.
So we basically had 2 full days, and we mostly hung out with his family.
Yeah.
We hung out at the house a bunch. We went to a park or 2, and
have you held a newborn you've held your nephews?
I've held newborns. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that one picture of you guys.
What about it?
I just assumed everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, look at you 2 with a baby," and you were like, "Nobody's saying that."
You just you. Just you. You're the baby pusher.
Cute.
Thanks.
How'd you guys feel? Like when you're around babies, are you ever like, "Huh"?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
We're both still open to the idea of wanting kids eventually.
Yeah. Okay. I
Maybe,
just didn't know if sometimes when you're with, and especially because it's related, so you're like, this is like,
my arm was sore after 5 minutes.
You're like, physically, it was hard.
I don't know if babies do a whole lot.
I hear you. Honestly, I will say one of the things that shocked me the most when I first became a mom was the lack of emotion that newborn shows aside from crying.
Yeah.
First of all, you're pregnant for 9 months and it's silence.
Yeah.
And then the minute they're earthside, it's screaming.
Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden it went from like no noise to constant.
That is weird that they can't scream inside because they can do other things. They can kick
maybe
stuff.
They do and you just don't. Well, I don't know. I mean, they're in fluid. I don't know.
I don't know that.
We're
I'm not the guy to ask.
But I just remember, especially with my firstborn, she just was like this little sack of potatoes that would show no emotion and no engaging. Like I didn't realize that was the first couple weeks of motherhood. Yeah. And then they start to smile and then their personality starts to, but just that initial meet and greet.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
Yeah. I feel like I like when kids are a bit more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to carry a child.
Right.
I don't know.
There's it's every little thing has its thing, because what will happen is like when they're tiny and you just tote them around in the car seat and you can do your normal life with the baby in a car seat.
Right.
It's really easy. Then they get to that stage, like Finn's age right now,
crawling,
where they're
walking.
busy.
Yeah.
And they can't
Grabbing
really say to you, they can't rationalize, they can't sit still, and you're trying to that to me was exhausting.
Yeah. What was your favorite? What's been your favorite age?
Honestly, I was just saying to somebody yesterday, I feel like I'm in it. I feel like
that's
I'm
where
in
I'm at too.
Really sweet.
I
in it without him.
with my 2.5-year-old puppy.
Here's what I love. I know. Here's what I love about right now is the girls are old enough where we're doing the same activities, right? Like we're watching the same movies together. We are playing games together. We are like, there's a little bit of Piper still playing pretend that we engage with, but we also have like fun conversations, and they are equally funny in the like they can give us that. But they're not quite removed where they're driving themselves someplace. Like they still need us. So there's like this weird balance of they need us, but they're also fun to be with. And so I really like it.
Yeah.
I think the next phase, they're going to be like, I'd rather be with my friends. I can drive myself to my friend,
Right.
and then we're kind of like, tossed on the side of the road.
So how old is Piper? She's
9.
9. And Easton's
8. I think he's going to be, is he 9 soon?
He's 8?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're a year apart.
I feel like my favorite age for Easton has been like now.
Yeah.
From when he was maybe like 5.
Yeah.
5 years old.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll adopt a 5-year-old.
There you go.
I don't know. Yeah. Who knows? We'll decide.
Yeah.
In a few years.
We've totally gone off from.
Have you watched Game of Thrones before?
Yeah.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yes.
Are you watching House of the Dragon? Did you watch season 1?
I watched it. Is there another season?
House of the Dragon season 1 came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Season 2 comes out on Sunday.
Oh,
this upcoming Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Will you watch it?
I will try. I don't have HBO anymore.
Okay.
So I have to figure that out.
So you've watched season 1 though.
Yeah.
Okay. So Brian and I are rewatching it right now.
Yeah.
The amount of childbirth scenes in that show,
honestly,
horrible.
Actually traumatic.
I can't watch it.
No.
I can't imagine as a woman watching it.
No.
It's like,
what's funny, before I had kids, there used to be this show called My Birth Story or something. And I would literally watch it because I was so afraid of childbirth.
Yeah.
I would watch it hoping I'd see an episode where a lady was like, oh, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I kept watching and it never happened. Yeah. Every episode I was like, I don't think I want kids. But you know what? It's a weird thing. It's like, the body does this amazing thing where by the time you're at the end of your pregnancy, you're like, honestly, whatever it takes to be not pregnant, I'll do.
Right.
And then apparently after I gave birth to Allie, Chad was like wheeling me to the recovery room and I looked at him and said, we're never doing this again. And then here's Piper.
I've heard other people that I know have said the same thing after the first one.
I mean, you don't have to, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. You won't even have to worry about your body. But the most encouraging thing my midwife said to me after Allie, it was like, there's going to be a day where you feel normal again. And I was like, that is the most helpful information because you just feel like this. I don't know.
It's crazy. It's such a crazy.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, the first episode of that show.
No, I couldn't. I almost actually was like, this might be too gory for me.
But there's a lot of like, there's only been one so far, but I know there's like a couple more coming where it's like, man, he has to choose between. It's horrible.
No, I know.
Horrible. Anyway. So that was my 2 weekends ago was my LA trip. It was great. A lot of good family time. Yeah. Got to meet the baby, Paisley Jade.
Paisley Jade?
Yes.
Cute.
Paisley Jade.
I love that.
Oh, I think there's 2 middle names actually. I'm not going to remember the second middle name, but it's I think Hawaiian. Like, it's like Paisley Jade Mariana Moran or something like that.
Okay.
That's not correct.
Yeah.
Something with an
We
M.
get it though.
Yeah. Something Hawaiian sounding. So yeah, that was my LA trip. It was great.
Awesome. So the previous weekend, I love that we're like, it's actually feeling like summer.
It is.
It's feeling
100%.
like, so we've been loving being out on the deck and the girls swim and Chad's grilling. So the last Friday, very similar to this most recent Friday, we just did like the pool, Chad grilled, we did games on the deck. Like we play this little mini detective game with the girls, which is really fun. It's almost like a Clue type thing.
Like a made up game, or is it a real
No,
thing?
it's a board game.
Oh, okay,
it's
cool.
called Junior Detective.
Nice.
And it's really cute. And then Saturday, Chad had overtime and it was the Duck Days parade. So actually Easton and Finn came with your mom and dad.
Oh, cool.
And we went there.
Duck Days. Where's
Duck
that
Days is in University Place.
Okay.
I honestly
I saw videos of that on social media.
I don't know what the thing is behind it. There's like rubber ducks are everywhere.
I wonder if there's like a duck migration that happens. There's
must be something. Yeah. I don't know if it's like beginning summer and it's, celebratory. But what's funny is we go to the fire station. There's, all these really cool fire trucks. My kids are so used to it. They got really excited because there's a school bus and they were like excited to check that out.
Do they not? You ever go on buses at school?
I mean, very, very rarely for a field trip. But it was of all the things you could explore.
Yeah.
They just were like, yeah, we've seen fire trucks. We'll go check out
That's
this
funny.
school bus over here. So yeah, it's funny. What's crazy is that day, so Chad was on shift that night. He had that crazy call that I told you about.
Yeah.
And actually he was on call this last weekend, and since midnight last night he's been at another fire. He's not in it. He's like supervising, helping make sure the other firefighters
He's still there now?
Still there.
Wow.
Yeah. Left
Where's
at
that
midnight down in Lakewood.
Jeez.
It's like a commercial building.
Is the fire put out at this
Well,
point?
when I checked in at like after he dropped the girls off around 8:30, he's like, it's still not out.
Oh
We're
my
still
goodness.
working on it.
Jeez.
8 hours. Yeah.
You were saying when I talked to you last week, like as a firefighter, there's not that many fires.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, it isn't. It's like a lot more like medical things that they go to. I mean, I think we've just become so more aware of like fire resistant materials and just safety things. And so it's pretty rare that they go on major structure fires, but it just so happened this last week, he's gone on a residential one and then today a commercial one.
Jeez.
So
you said the residential one is pretty scary. I don't know how detailed you want to get.
Scary. It was a really humbling reminder that he, because for the last few years he's been in this training captain role. So he just does a desk job. And, I was telling a friend actually I really, as a firefighter wife, haven't been that scared for him.
Yeah.
There was a season where it was during COVID, and there was a lot of focus around Black Lives Matter, and the fire department was like just giving them a heads up, like, hey, we're going to do some safety training. There's rumors that any first responder are being targeted or attacked or whatever. And I remember being nervous then. Like I was like, wow, he is a first responder. He wears a uniform, and not everybody differentiates what uniforms mean.
Police and fire and stuff.
And so like I remember him telling me one day, he was like, yeah, we had to do this training where the police basically surround us in like a with their shields and a diamond formation, and it just was this very like stark reality of like, they're doing that because there's a chance somebody could just open fire on them when they're going to rescue a victim from a fire or a car, so not to get into like a whole political talk or anything, but that was one of the most recent times that I remember being nervous when he went to work. Like I was like for just his safety.
Right.
And then last weekend after that call, because if he does overtime, he'll go on some calls, maybe a car accident or somebody overdosed. Like those are more common what he responds to. So this structure fire that he went into and just had some scary moments was kind of just one of those, I don't know, scary moments, and just reminded me like, wow, I'm really fortunate that for his day to day, that's not something I have to stress about. So, it put a little bit of like a, because his overtime is like a great way for us to make extra money. And it just kind of put a little bit of a damper on like, signing up for, risking my life is not as appealing anymore, So, and then he hurt his back, which is a bummer. And he's been such a trooper, but he said today he was like wearing all of his gear because he has to be like geared up just in case he needs to go in and help somebody. He's really, it's called something. It's like safety officer, something. So he's really there to make sure the other firefighters are safe. Like one of the points he called me, he was like, I'm running back because we've run out of bottled water for the firefighters. So he's doing things like that, but he wears all of his gear just in case. And he was like, I've been standing in my gear for 6 hours straight and my back is not happy. So
wow. Does he have a like massage therapist?
He did go to a massage therapist on this last Friday.
Okay.
And but and I'm sure you understand where it's like, he was just saying last night, he was like, I just feel like, when you're hurt and you don't get to exercise and do your routines. Yeah. It's taking a toll.
Yeah.
So, I'll be curious to see how he's feeling today. But yeah.
So wait, he's still on that fire then because he has his day job as well.
I know. So I don't know I actually don't know how that works. I know right now with his day job, the academy he's running is like, he's pretty hands off.
Okay.
So he could probably do a lot from home or just like make things up tomorrow if he misses a lot of today. So it's not like
is he expected to go into work after this crazy night?
I mean, realistically, yeah. Wow. And he was, I don't know if he's home yet, but maybe he'd get, a nap and then go into the office for a bit or something. But
crazy.
I know. Crazy. But anyways, so yeah, that was last Saturday. Sunday last week. We had some new friends come over. We had my parents had invited this family that goes to our church. They were missionaries out in Africa.
Oh, cool.
And they just moved back to Washington, I think in January or something. So for the last part of this year. And so we had them over for lunch on Sunday and just got to just make some new friends, which was fun.
Nice.
It's like been a long time since we've like hosted some like a new family, and Chad and I were like, we should do this more often.
Yeah.
Like just, I don't know.
We're doing that this week, and I feel the same. Like every time we have people over, we're like, why don't we have people over more often? Like it's so fun.
I know. And it's just like, I don't know. It kind of expands your like, I don't know, your perspective a bit to just hear other people's stories and things. So anyways, that was pretty much last Sunday. Not a ton going on in our life. This week is our last week of school.
Okay.
We are gearing up, like Thursday is a half day and the girls it's summer.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, and then Chad's parents come on 17th or 18th of June. So after next weekend. And so a lot of what we've been doing these last few weeks is just kind of preparing for that, like projects around the house and, getting new bedding and little things.
How are they staying with you?
So how it's working, his parents are coming for about 3 weeks. When his parents come, his brother is also coming with his family. Okay. So there's like 6 guests in total that will be with us. The family of 4 are going to stay at our duplex.
Cool.
And then, so that's
is
his
it
brother.
empty already?
Yes.
Nice.
It's vacant as of yesterday.
Cool.
So you have to looking for a rental.
Do you have to furnish it then?
It is furnished.
Oh.
So that is one of our units we have as an Airbnb or as a furnished finder unit.
Cool.
And so.
Is it the upstairs or the downstairs?
Upstairs.
Cool.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen the upstairs.
Yeah. You should come see it. So that one is going to be vacant, as of this weekend. And then, so his brother will stay there. And then his parents are going to stay in Piper's room. So that's part of what we've been working on. We're like, got new side tables and new bedding for Piper's room. We're going to kind of reorganize and make that like a guest room while they're here.
And then Piper will stay
with Allie, which she normally does
anyways.
Okay. Nice.
So works out.
Yeah. So yeah, that was, I don't know. Tell me about this most recent weekend for you.
Okay. So Friday, I had an inspection in Greenwood.
Oh, awesome.
So the client that ended up backing out because of the low appraisal, he is going to end up buying the house that he's already living in. Mm-hmm. So his landlord's selling it and we were able to work it out. So he's, we got under contract on that house. We made the inspection went well. So we're moving forward.
Great.
I don't anticipate any issues with the appraisal on this one. So that should be good to go.
Yay.
From there, I went to happy hour with my friend Brandon.
Oh, fun.
I think you've met Brandon at some point.
He's the athlete. Like he's the
runner. Yep.
Runner. He does those crazy things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is so crazy. So he's the one I did the half marathon with in Leavenworth.
Yes.
He won that half marathon. Yeah. And as I shared, and he still wasn't able to qualify for the New York Marathon.
I'm sorry.
As the winner of a half marathon with thousands of people, that isn't good enough to qualify for the New York Marathon. That is so crazy to me.
Unbelievable.
Isn't that insane?
Yes. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Anyway, so we did happy hour at a cool little brewery in... Do you know where Finney Ridge is?
No.
It's between Ballard and Green Lake. It's this cool little neighborhood. So did happy hour and then walked down the street and found a Cambodian restaurant for dinner. Never had Cambodian food before. It was good. The menu was very difficult to read.
Okay.
I think it was English, maybe, but
the
ingredients were very obscure. Like I saw chicken on one thing. So I'm like, let's do the chicken.
Yeah.
And then we saw cauliflower, like, let's do the cauliflower.
I recognize that word.
Yes, that's literally how we ordered.
Did you not do, because didn't you tell me when you were in Japan, you had like a Google menu thing?
But it was a translate thing, but I think this was English. Just the ingredients were weird.
Okay.
I don't really know.
So what was your dish?
So we got like these like chicken, they're not chicken tenders, but that kind of vibe.
You're like, imagine a chicken nugget.
An elevated chicken thing with a sauce. That was good. And then it was like not a fried cauliflower, but like probably a baked cauliflower with some seasoning on it. And then pork belly, which I don't know if I've told you about this, but I got food poisoning from pork belly in Mexico.
I don't know about that.
Probably 5 years ago. And
a little PTSD.
I have 100%. And I haven't really had much pork belly since then.
What's concerning is you said your tummy was hurting today.
It was true, but I didn't have very much of it. I had like 3 bites. I can't do it. Just so Brandon ate the whole pork
Bless
belly,
his heart. How's he doing?
He's doing okay.
He's fine.
I don't think pork belly as a whole should be canceled, but I just, for me, I just can't do it. I have, it's definitely some PTSD from the pork belly.
Understandably.
So, that was pretty much Friday night. And Brian is at a friend's house Friday night, so I just went home and hung out with Stevie and watched This Is Us. And that was my Friday night.
Do you guys do that often? Like, kind of do your own things with friends?
Probably once every 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
Maybe once, maybe once a month.
Okay.
Not very often.
Because it's interesting. Like, I feel like we'll do like, because you could go with Brian, could you not? Like, you could be like, or he could have come to you with happy hour.
The friends that he was hanging out with, that's Michael and Febin, are those friends. Yeah. When they hang out, it's usually like a video game night, which that's kind of their thing that they do, which I don't really do that. Yeah. So it's more so that he has a night with that friend group where they stay up all night playing video games.
It's kind of around like activity.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then usually when he's doing that, I'll hang out with one of my friends and do that kind of thing. But he told, like it's not saying I'm not allowed to hang out with his friends. Like we do hang out sometimes, a lot of the time. But when they're having like video game nights, usually it's just him. Yeah. We'll do like board game nights, which I'll go participate in. But I'm not as into the video game thing. Yeah. So yeah. I also think time apart, distance makes the heart grow fonder.
100%.
So we obviously we miss each other when we're apart. Yeah. But it's totally good.
Your guys' little video of the couple. What was it?
Couple dictionary.
So tell me about that. Because is that a trend? Am I seeing other people doing that?
Have you seen other people?
I feel like I saw something very briefly and I was like, I don't even know what that phrase was.
It's a big trend on TikTok right now. So couples will go back and it might be on Instagram Reels as well. Yeah. Probably. I mean, most trends transcend the platforms.
I'll wait 2 weeks and I'll see.
Probably. But so couples will basically say words or things that they that are just part of their language that they have with each other. So
I kind of love it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
I already have notes if we want to do a second video.
Okay, great.
We have quite a few little weird things that we say.
I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, like you said something and like he had this very specific phrase for it. And I was like, that's hilarious.
Caramel macchiato served in a pot.
Yes. What? I was like, oh my gosh.
I misspelled karma on the video.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of comments on TikTok about
that. There's no mercy out there.
I did not know how to spell karma, I guess. I thought it was a CH for some reason. I don't know why I thought that.
Because charm.
I don't know where that spelling came from, but I got grilled a little bit on TikTok. But that was a fun video.
It was cute.
Do you and Chad have any words?
We probably do actually, but like, I would have to think through like stuff. I was thinking we don't necessarily have like a specific phrase, but we do have a tendency. It's more in like if we are, this is gonna sound maybe mean. I'm like regretting saying it now. But like if we're out somewhere and I see like some scruffy dude, it'll be like, I didn't know your dad was coming today. Like we say that to each other all the time. Yeah. Like tell your mom to come sit with us. Like, and it's some like crazy looking chick. Like, so that
I've heard you say that about Allie before, like, is your boyfriend want to come?
Yes. So when we see weirdos, we like bring them into the circle. That's our thing. Nice. That's our go-to. But anyways, okay. So you told us your Friday.
So that was Friday.
What was your Saturday?
Do you want to go? How was your Friday?
My Friday was good. We had some friends over actually, and it was great. We had not caught up with these guys in a while. Allison and Riley, we know them. We've known them for a long time, but they also have mutual friends in Santa Barbara, so we kind of have like historical roots with them. So it's really fun to catch up, and they've got 2 boys. Piper was gone, so it was really sweet. Allie like played with the 2 boys and swam and jumped on the trampoline. Again, it just felt like quintessential summer. Yeah. And we just got like steaks from Harbor Greens and just hung
Harbor Greens.
Harbor Greens.
I should start shopping there. I got steak yesterday at Safeway, and I was not happy with the selection.
Okay, I will say, like, we're very selective at what we get at Harbor Greens.
Okay.
So their deli section and like their meat pizza deli is great. Okay. Shopping for any other groceries there, I'm like, it feels like I'm breaking the bank. It's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
But it's cute. So shop local.
Shop local.
That was pretty much our Friday night. We just had those friends over and caught up and enjoyed the sunset on the deck. It was pretty lovely. Yeah.
Saturday, I went on a long bike ride in the morning, did 50 miles.
Nice. Okay.
So I did
we're increasing.
I'm getting there. Yeah. So I did around Lake Washington, which is pretty much 50 miles to go around the whole thing.
Yeah.
Great bike ride. Beautiful day for it. I was feeling good. Yeah. It was a lot of traffic everywhere. Like it was UW graduation day on Saturday.
Sure.
So just everywhere, traffic was horrible. And I was just cruising by on my bike. Just like, hey.
Oh, okay. So not scary with like cars.
No, not
nothing
really.
like that.
More just like I was grateful to not be in a car.
I do have so the family that came over, the O'Hagans, Riley just did this paddleboard. He paddleboards from Tacoma to Port Townsend.
Wow.
And it took him 20 hours. He does it. It's nonstop.
What?
Yeah. I was like thinking of like challenges.
20 hours?
20 hours.
On a paddleboard?
On a paddleboard.
Oh, sorry, say it again. From where to Tacoma?
From like the port of Tacoma to Port Townsend.
In the Puget Sound.
In all through those like through Vashon and Bainbridge, like through.
And he doesn't like fall off?
I think he did. And he had to get up and change. He got off and changed and stuff. But could you imagine for 20 hours?
Absolutely not.
Being on a paddleboard.
And it's so continuous. So it's dark out for a lot of it.
I think they start in the evening.
Wow.
They start like at 7 p.m.
How many people do this?
I actually don't know. And I was like, are you alone? He said there's some people that do it on teams. So that he's like, there was like a 12-person.
Like a relay?
Something.
And he did it by...
No. Like they're in one vessel and they're all going. Like a 12-person canoe or something. I was like, that feels like...
Canoe feels way easier than a paddleboard.
Party bus. That's like...
Was he paddleboarding or
paddleboarding?
Oh my gosh.
Paddleboarding. Yes. Yeah.
It gets choppy too.
It does. It's...
Holy cow.
Listen.
I'm not doing that one. When people tell me about these challenges, sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I'm
not
not
that.
I'm not doing
one.
that one.
I know.
That sounds horrible.
I'm like so scared of the dark. Like in the water.
Yeah, in the middle of the water at night? What?
Yeah.
I hate this. I'm sorry. Sheer props to Riley. That's crazy.
Yeah. He's done it before. And yeah. And he said the thing is, I guess the weather, people predicted the weather incorrectly.
Oh my gosh.
As a lot of people bowed out, but he didn't.
Wow. Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not doing that one, but I am doing the Seattle to Portland bike ride. Yep. It's less than 5 weeks away now.
I'm sorry. How did time go that quickly?
I don't know.
And remind me every time, the mileage.
206 miles.
200. And we did 50.
I did 50 on Saturday. Okay. Yeah. So my plan for the next 5 weeks is basically every Saturday to add 10 miles. So I'll do 60 miles next Saturday, then 70, then 80, then whatever. Okay. But I'm only going to get up to like 90 or 100 miles beforehand. And then I have to go 206 miles. So
you're going to train for halfway.
I'm going to train up to halfway. Yeah. It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And then hope that the day of adrenaline and race day energy helps me push through it. There's a chance I can do it in one day. I'm basically, I don't know if I already talked about this last week. Did I?
No, I think for me, it's similar to Riley's situation.
Yeah.
Like, so you would bike throughout the night?
No, I will not bike throughout the night. So basically I'll leave at 5 a.m.
Okay.
So thankfully we're at the time of the year. Like I was outside at 8:45 p.m. last night.
Couldn't tell.
I'm like, it looks like it's 2 p.m. right now. It was crazy.
Trying to put my kids to bed and they're like, the sun is in the middle of the sky right now.
Yeah. And then I woke up at 5 this morning and it was already light, like light out. So it's that time of the year where I'll be riding in the light the whole time. So,
but I mean, 5 a.m.
The cutoff is 9 p.m. So if I don't get to the end by 9 p.m., then I'll get a hotel for the night and I'll get a hotel somewhere. Yeah. So basically, a lot of people will plan it where they will stop in the halfway point, which is like Chehalis. They'll plan it that way.
Okay.
I don't want to do that. I want to get as far as I possibly can the first day and then do the remainder the second day if I have a remainder. And then Brian will just meet me wherever I end up at the end of the first night and we'll get a hotel wherever we end up.
Okay.
So he's my pit crew, which is very helpful because then I don't have to carry anything on me really.
That's great.
I don't have to, because some people will carry like their backpack and
like what stuff. Do you bring? Like you have to have hydration and
that's pretty much
food.
It.
Like
because there's a bunch of pit stops along the whole time. So there's water stations, food stations, snack stations. There's people there's a phone number you can call if your bike ever breaks down throughout. So it's like I don't really have to carry that much on me. I'll have like some of my 2 water bottles. I'll have a bunch of hydration powders. I'll have some snacks and stuff, but most of the time I'll get food along the route. So basically I'll leave at 5 a.m. I have until 9 p.m. the first day. That's 16 hours. 206 miles. So my average pace this weekend for my 50-mile bike ride was 14 miles an hour. So 206 miles divided by 14 miles an hour. That's 14.7 hours. So let's round that up to 15 hours. And then let's add an hour for like breaks if I stop for lunch, if I stop to go to the bathroom, that's
Right.
like, so that's 16 hours.
Yep.
That's exactly how long I have.
Okay.
It's 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. It's 16 hours. So there's a chance I get there by 9 p.m.
Yeah.
If not, I'll hopefully get pretty close to the finish line and then just do the last little bit the second day.
Okay.
Because I know I'll be so sore the second day. Like just sitting on a seat for that long, like my butt was so sore on Sunday after 50 miles. Like it's going to be so sore after 206.
Oh man, I'm worried about you going to sleep and waking up and being like, I have to get back on.
Yeah. That's what I also don't want.
Like that would be hard.
Yeah. So I'm going to push to try to finish on the first day. But
because
that was my initial goal. And then I'm like, I'm not like a great biker. Like there's not, or cyclist, not biker. That's a technical term. It's different. But I don't know. I think there's a chance I can do it in one day. So that's what I'm striving for.
Okay.
But finish it either way. That's the goal.
Yeah. 100%. Okay.
So that was Saturday morning, was the bike ride.
Nice.
And then went on a long walk with Stevie. I posted about this on my Instagram, but getting my 10,000 steps in on long bike ride days is the absolute worst. Because I'm just like, I just want to sit down afterwards. And I still have to, like, I finished my bike ride and I was at like 1,000 steps. So I had to go on like a 3-mile walk with Stevie to get my steps in.
Bless your heart.
Not fun. And then just hung out with Brian for the evening. We did dinner at a little local. There's one exit away from us in Renton. There's a place called Dino's Pub, which is like kind of a sports bar sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's not fancy at all.
Sure.
And we have so many restaurants on our list that we want to go to, but I was dressed very casually. I'm like, I don't want to like dress nice right now. I'm like, he was dressed casually, and we're like, let's just go to Dino's Pub. Like, this is a good place to go. We're wearing our our sweat shorts and whatever. So went to Dino's Pub. It was great. Got chicken sandwich and a little flatbread, and
love it.
It was great. Yeah.
Shout out to Dinos.
Shout out to Dino's Pub. And then we made that TikTok that evening, which was fun. It's really fun actually. Just like when there's a couples trend that goes around, it's just fun to just like sit there and have some fun with it. So
I tried. There was one video that somebody sent me about you like tease either your dad or your partner's grass cutting skills. And Chad's very like into his grass cutting. So I tried to like record myself being like, oh shoot, I can tell your back's still hurting. Like those lines are pretty rough. And all he said was like, how dare you? And walked away. It was nothing more than that. So I'm like, I just feel like he's caught on to me trying to do like, it's one thing if like, you're doing a trend together and you're like, but I like to do ones that's like not.
You also might have a different voice because I can kind of hear your like teasing voice or you're like,
I know I did try to be a little bit like,
covert.
I did.
Because even when you do your like interview videos with
for
girls,
sure,
that's kind of a different voice, which is a great voice. But maybe you just can tell.
I think and this is the last week of school. I think I've got to get one in this week before we're out. Yeah. So I need to figure out what that's going to be.
Last week of school.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was pretty much it. Did that. Like I mentioned, we're rewatching through the first season of House of the Dragon.
Right.
Before next Sunday.
Okay.
So we did watch some gnarly scenes. And,
yeah. Are you guys watching anything else right now?
Not really.
Okay.
No, we're kind of on. This is our transition show.
Yeah. I watched that show Eric on Netflix.
Haven't heard of it.
It was actually pretty
ERIK?
good. ERIC.
Oh. Okay.
It's oh my gosh, what's his name? He was the actor in Doctor Strange. Something Cumberbatch.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
What is his name?
Cast is Benedict Cumberbatch.
There he is.
Yeah.
It was actually pretty good. It's like he's his son goes missing. He's on a show that does like puppetry, and his son had drawn this like imaginary puppet named Eric, and so he uses that to try to like reach out to his son who's missing. Anyways, it was like the characters in it were very like enthralling and very it's good. It was kind of dark, but anyways.
Have you seen the other recommended show on Netflix? It's about like these influencers in LA.
Yes, the dancers. Yeah.
Okay, so I found about that show when we were in LA.
Yeah.
That where that all goes down is right where Brian's brother lives. Like the same neighborhood. Like they've known about this. Like so Brian's brother's wife, Moppy, she's like part of the neighborhood council or some position within the neighborhood.
This is so interesting.
And she's like, when she first joined the neighborhood council, she was like helping monitor the Facebook groups and stuff. And there was like somebody who like posted something really weird, and it was some like religious thing,
Yeah.
and she like brought it to her boss's attention,
Yeah.
and like they were like, it was just kind of this weird vibe thing that she got, and it was totally related to this whole weird thing. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't
Okay.
even really know what happens, but
Okay.
we were talking about it in LA, so we saw them Saturday, and they watched the whole thing Saturday night because
Yeah.
they were like so curious about it.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it on Sunday, and they're like, we literally, you know, they show the grocery store that we shop at,
Yeah.
and we're like live a mile away from the house where this all happened.
Yeah.
And all that. So it's crazy.
It's so interesting. It's this dance group
Yeah.
that this church basically is the management over.
Yeah.
So they like, and they're these, what's weird is I've watched it. I've never seen these dancers before. And now on my Instagram feed, the dancer, the main girl that it's about, keeps coming up on my feed with her dances. And she's claiming she's fine and she's not being, you know, manipulated by this quote unquote cult or anything. Yeah. But her the majority of the documentary is about her family trying to get her out of it.
Wow.
And then there's other people who have left it and stuff. So it is, I mean, things like that are so fascinating.
Crazy.
To me.
I know. I'm very
the thing
intrigued
that worried
cults.
One of the lines that the mom said that really worried me. She was like, she's like, our girls had the support of me and my husband. We showed up to all their events. They had grandparents, like they were cared for. And this girl still falls into this manipulating situation. I'm like, ugh, we just can't protect them enough.
Gross.
I know. Anyways,
so that was my Saturday. How was your Saturday?
My Saturday. This last Saturday was good. Like I said, Chad's parents are coming. So what did we do? Oh, we literally did a bunch of house stuff. So like, you know, there's spots in the house on the exterior that Chad wanted to paint, and there's like tightening up the railing outside. And I wanted to redo this. There's a space in my house that I get really frustrated with because it's supposed to be like a second living room of like playroom, hangout room for the girls. And nobody ever uses it. And I'm like, it's a waste of space. And it really drives me nuts. So I tried to rearrange and set it up differently and kind of display toys for Piper. Cause that's the other thing. Like, do
they play with toys?
Well, that's the thing. It's like Piper is at the age where that's appropriate. Allie, it's like, oh, she'll kind of entertain Pipes and play with her a bit, but it's not like Piper should be playing with toys. She's in 3rd grade. She should be interacting and using her imagination doing that. But because of the way I had it set up, it was like everything was in like one bin and there was nothing displayed properly to see how to use it well. Yeah. So I finally like kind of put everything out. And she was totally playing back there. Really? So I was like, okay, I just need to like make it usable. Nice.
That room seems like a perfect room. I don't know what ages kids play with toys, but for like young kids, it seems like a perfect playroom where you can like close it off and you know, it's not in the main living space kind of thing, but it's right next to it. Yes.
And actually where we have the doors that close it off, it actually creates a really nice sound barrier. So we always imagined Allie and her friends would be back there. Like there's a TV back there and a couch. We thought this is like their teenage hangout space. They'll have movies on. There's a little table back there. Like this could be like an art space and they can this is like the table they can paint on it and make slime and just destroy it.
Yeah. I bet if you didn't have a pool, that would be more likely.
Keep them in the back.
That's definitely kind of
takes precedence. Yeah. So, but yeah, Saturday was literally just around the house doing all sorts of stuff. And I think we ran a couple errands, like some grocery shopping. I had to get my AC and my car fixed. So
do you have AC at your house?
Yeah, we do. We have to, because the way the sun beats through our windows, because we don't have any window coverings on the backside of our house. So when the sun shines in the summer, it is like so hot. When we first bought the house, the previous owner had blinds inside plus curtains.
Wow.
And then on the outside, all in one window, on the outside, there was a retractable awning.
Wow.
So I was like, this person loved the dark. Yeah. And then we realized, oh, they just wanted to be cool.
Yeah.
It gets hot.
It was 82 degrees in our house last night.
Yeah. In the evening when you're going to sleep?
Yes. It was horrible. The last 2 nights. It's been sleeping on the top of the covers, like just multiple fans on us. I think we're going to get like a window AC unit for the summer because it's just unbearable.
Does Stevie sleep on your bed?
She kind of goes back and forth.
Okay. So does Stella. And when like I wake up and she's like curled up, it's like radiating.
So much heat. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Saturday. We were pretty quiet, kept to ourselves Saturday. Didn't really do much.
Nice.
Yeah. How about Sunday?
Sunday was good. So we woke up with the news that Brian's grandpa passed yesterday morning.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, so he was very bummed, and he passed peacefully in his sleep, which was great.
Yeah.
So we kind of just had a chill Sunday.
Yeah.
We went to the dog park with Stevie.
Yeah.
Just kind of hung out around the house and had a chill day.
Yeah.
So
I love that you guys have been like, I feel like you've spent so much time with him and his grandma this last season, and
got to see them a lot,
right?
So I don't want to share too many details, but I feel like the last few times we've seen him, he's been very, he's been there, like his brain's been there. He's been able to crack jokes and be part of the conversation and stuff. So I feel like we didn't see a big decline really, whereas with my grandpa, like it's really kind of hard to be around him these days. So so he passed, and so his celebration of life family thing is next weekend. So we'll go to that. So
Aww.
That was our Sunday.
Okay. Yesterday was church in the morning, and then we had a going away party. This is something I want to talk to you about. So we had a going away party for a family that's military.
Okay.
And first of all, do you have did anybody in your family grow up military? And
my dad was in the military for like 4 years.
Did he grow up traveling? It is such a foreign concept to me. I know it's so common. And actually, another part of my weekend, I finished this book called The Nightingale. It's old. It's like 10 years old, but I just now I'm reading it. I couldn't tell you the last time I read a book where I cried.
Yeah.
But there would be times where I'd be reading before bed and I'd be sobbing in bed. And over the weekend, I literally had to set it down and be like, this isn't real. This isn't my life. It's based on a real story. It's like historical fiction. It's about World War II, and it's about these sisters in France, and they just go through it, like being put in camps and then having German soldiers stay in their house while their husband is at camp. It was so heavy, and the amount of just loss. So anyways, I'm getting back to the military thing, because the going away party is for a family who is in the military, and they were here for 2 years, and now they're moving to North Carolina.
Sorry, you know these people from school?
From school, okay. Yep. So they are... So our school is connected to Life Center Church. So they are at both. They were at the church, and they're at. So the mom was actually like a youth leader for Allie's youth group. And I was so admiring the way that they moved here and just dove right in. Like, she started volunteering. She went to camp with them. And then their kids, she's got 2 kids, one in middle school, one in high school. And they just do all the sports, all the stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how I would live in that. Constant. And she was like, well, you kind of just have to dive in. Like, you get somewhere and you just get planted as quickly as possible. And then you go on to the next.
That's crazy.
Isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
I don't know, that idea. So between them going and then me reading this book, I was like, man, I'm just having to think about a mentality where you could be called to go to work.
Yeah.
You
I was just listening to Armchair Expert podcast, and they were talking about how this last couple generations have been the first generations in 5 or 6 generations where there hasn't been a draft. Like we haven't had a draft in a long time.
Right.
But I don't know how many, 50, 60, 70 years ago, 80, 100, like all the previous generations had drafts. Yes. Like it was a very, very common thing. Yeah. So I'm very grateful that I have that hasn't been a reality for my life, because that's crazy.
It just like in the book they would go and they would first of all they would have to walk from their house to town, which was however far away, and use these ration cards to get a tiny bit of scrap food. I'm over here ordering Instacart from Costco. Like, it just, the contrast blows my mind.
Totally. I feel like it's really good for us in life to have things that provide perspective and that contrast. Like volunteering at the rescue missions always brings that. Yeah. Like these books, I read this. I've told you about some of the books I read about the children that grew up in the foster care system and poverty and stuff. And it's like, man, it's so heavy, but I feel like it's important for us to consume some of that stuff because it reminds us how good we do have it.
I know.
Yeah.
I had I had posted actually a cover of the book, because I know there was a bunch of people who had mentioned reading it before. So I had a lot of feedback about it, and I really struggle to want to do that.
Yeah.
To embrace those things. It's good to give ourselves a perspective, but as an Enneagram 7, I am I will do whatever I can to avoid the thought of how uncomfortable that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, that was our weekend. We've
Nice.
been kind of just hanging out, enjoying our home. And
yeah. Is this summer yet? When's the first day of summer?
I think it's the 21st, right?
Okay, so we're
June
still in
21st.
spring.
We're still technically spring, but the
Been very
weather
nice.
has felt
Yeah.
like summer. But yeah. How's your June challenge going?
It's been good.
Yeah.
I've been eating decently healthy, no desserts, and yeah, it's going well. Yeah. I haven't noticed any like significant changes in my
but you're back
physique
in a
yet,
routine.
but I feel
I'm looking for that as well.
I feel less tempted by junk food.
Yeah.
Like it feels like for the way that my brain works, I really like not extremes, but like parameters to like if I feel like I don't do great at moderation. Like if I just allow myself sweets sometimes, then I want sweets every day, and it's really easy for me to give into those temptations. But if I say no sweets, that's a lot easier for me to follow, and then that helps me to want to eat healthier overall. Like I'm not even really craving junk food at this point, which is taken. I mean, we're 10 days in. Like I'm really like we last night for dinner we had chicken and salad, and that was like it tasted great, and like that's what I was like craving was like something nourishing and healthy. So I don't know, I feel like, and I'm not that I'm doing this challenge forever, but I enjoy. I don't know. I feel like my brain works well with like
it's like all
some restrictions. Yeah.
Kind of weird. Like if you were to do like an 80-20 where like you allowed yourself 20% of the time to have dessert, you feel like that would like just backslide and you would just start having dessert all the time?
Maybe. Yeah. I feel like the way that I usually do it is I'll kind of eat whatever I want for a season. Yeah. And then I'll eat really healthy for a season. Yeah. And then I'll kind of go back and forth. Yeah. Like Japan, I let myself eat whatever I wanted. And then for the week or two after that, and not that I eat so unhealthy, it's more just like dessert is a big thing. Like I crave dessert every single day. Yeah. And I don't know. It's I do well with like the all or nothing kind of thing. So I don't know if that's healthy or not, but it works.
Sounds like somebody else I know.
Those us threes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Jamie.
That was great.
Always great.
Happy 31st anniversary.
As I was preparing for this, I'm like, well, I don't actually have that much to talk about, but
here we are, probably an hour in, huh?
56 minutes. Look at us. Thanks, Jamie.
All right. See you next time.